Explain this to me. More than 2,000 double-decker buses.
Oh, what?
Take 2,000 double-decker buses.
Yep.
Put them in a parking lot.
Okay.
Worth of waste is now in our oceans thanks to COVID-19.
Waste of what?
An analysis found that 193 countries produced about 9.2 million tons of pandemic-associated plastic waste from the start of the pandemic to mid-August 2021.
Did they give examples?
The majority of the plastic, about 87.4%, was used by hospitals.
Oh, geez.
While 7.6% was used by individuals. We're in a disposable world here, and I know the plastic bottle thing, and I recycle, and I hear that half my recycling is not even being recycled. It's being sold off because China's not buying anymore. I don't know what that deal is. But when you're having these disposable masks, and we have trillions and trillions of disposable masks, I don't know if you can recycle those. I don't know what those are made out of. But evidently all this stuff is showing up now in our oceans.
I didn't even think about it. Just think about all of the tubing from people.
Ventilators. The team developed a model to predict how much of this plastic waste wound up in the ocean after being discarded. They predicted that as of August 23rd, about 28,550 tons of plastic debris had already found its way into our oceans. In 3 years' time, the majority of the debris will shift from the surface of the ocean to beaches and the seafloor, with more than 70% washing onto beaches by the year's end. I'm a big litter guy.
If I ever see a lot?
No.
Oh, you pick up litter.
No, it pisses me off.
Yeah, I know.
I'm one of those guys where if I'm driving down my road and I see a bottle outside, I'll get out and pick it up, okay, because it's my neighborhood. And if I ever see one of my kids, I don't even like my kids littering in my car, because if your kids are taking apart stuff and throwing it onto the floor of the car, I'm like, you're going to do it outside. Seriously, it really gets on my nerves. I'm like, knock it off, put it in the trash.
That's right.
I put a trash bag in the car.
Your car's on a trash can, yeah.
Exactly, right? And then I end up having to clean it up. How we take our trash out, and then it goes, and I don't know where it goes after that. And I do my recycling, and I don't know where it goes there. If I have too much recycling, I'll drive it up to school and drop it in the recycling bin. I try to do the right thing. If this is coming from hospitals, what the hell? How is this possible? Where is this coming from? How is this dumped? How is this making it into the ocean? Now, I understand that when we have floods, and I think a lot of people don't realize this, we have a creek in our backyard. You do too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we get all kinds. Yeah.
And you get runoff from shit that's like 3 miles away.
Oh, I get all kinds of things.
It just washes stuff up. It goes above. It flows down. And you're like, we don't litter around here. Why is this creek full of crap? Yep. And it comes from all over the place. I understand that. I get that aspect of it, okay? But how can this much crap be getting into our oceans if we're discarding it correctly?
Well, maybe maybe we're not. I mean, particularly for hospitals.
And I know there's ocean liners and stuff that are just dumping crap in the ocean. There's these big. Did you hear the story the other day? There's these, and they're going to wash up down on Orange Beach by the end of the year. These giant rubber balls that are about this big.
Of what?
It's rubber compound that was in boats in World War II off the coast of somewhere. I can't even tell you.
Right.
Like thousands of miles away.
They've been here for decades and decades.
It's been in they had all these supply ships in World War II that were being sunk by U-boats. And they would go to the bottom of the ocean, and now they're floating up, and they're finding out that these ships are starting to rust out, and all this stuff that was stuck in the bottom of their hulls are coming up, and they're washing up on, and there's these giant rubber that was used for, I don't know, tires or treads for tanks or something. I don't know what it was. So it's just there's, and then we got this huge thing out. I forget where it's at. What do they call it? The garbage heap or whatever in the middle of the ocean just floats there, and it's like a 1,000,000-mile thing. I don't know what it.
Yep.
But I mean, we just got through. We're just getting through this thing, and this is relatively over the last 12 months. And I'm trying to figure out how 2,000 double-decker buses of waste are already in our oceans, and if it's coming, 76% of it's coming from our hospitals. How?
I don't know. I don't know it's all biohazard stuff, right? So you would think that it.
Well, not all of it. I mean, masks and
it's all biohazard. If it's coming from a hospital, it's unless it's a plastic cup someone took a drink from.
We're going to find out that COVID can live in the ocean. And that crap's going to be washing back up. I'm telling you, it's not over yet. I'm trying to be hopeful here, but it always finds a way. Life will find a way. I'm just trying to figure out how is it possible already that
I think what's one of the things about COVID that is so different. I was talking with a colleague yesterday about the impact on health, not the direct impact, but the average 29-pound weight gain.
Yeah.
We were talking about how, usually you talk about if you gain weight, Americans are getting fatter, and then down the road, we're going to get diabetes, right, and heart disease. Well, one of the things we were talking about is the number of people that have gained so much weight in such a short period of time. We're used to Americans in particular gaining weight over time as they get older and then developing disease down the road. But we had this where you had all these people gain weight. Well, one of the things that's scary about it is now you got a ton of people who are developing diabetes now, right? Within 20 months of developing. And I think that's the thing that COVID has done is it's made everything that is usually long-term from this to diabetes, to some of the other problems. It's all right now, and we got to figure it out how to manage it. I mean, I was thinking about what you were talking. I still say the same thing. The fact that we figured out a vaccine, and I don't care who you are and where you stand, the fact that scientists figured out a vaccine that quickly, and you've said this, shows us that if we decide, I've heard you say this, if we decided we're going after this now, everybody, many of the things that are problems we can figure out. So you talk about pollution of the ocean, global warming. I mean, everybody's talking about it, but I feel like unlike COVID, where we came up with a vaccination, there are factions of folks that are like scrambling and trying to do it. But then you hear this. What?
Yeah.
And look, I said this. I was talking. I was in L.A. with my mom. We were talking about global warming and the pollution and blah blah blah. And we were kidding, joke, wink, wink. I said something like, "You'll be gone, and I'll be close to gone."
Yeah.
By the time it's a problem. And then I look, and I think about my kids. Your kids is even worse because they're younger.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, as parents, be careful what you say in front of your kids around this stuff. Because when you throw out things like, well, I'll be long gone.
Yeah.
The first thing your teenagers are going is like, hello, I won't be.
Yeah. Well, and it was supposed to be our generation, and now it's going to be the next generation, and it's going to be the next generation, and just like debt, we always think that someone else is going to pick it up, by the time we're dead, it'll be your issue. I was having a very interesting conversation with our director of programming yesterday about this infrastructure thing. We don't talk a lot of politics here, but I think it's really amazing because this is the first time in my life in 55 years that I actually feel like something. Normally 4 years ain't enough to get a lot done.
Right.
You go Democrat, Republican, Democrat, they drop their crap, they pick up their crap, and it never changes, right? And so, we're sitting there at this big climate control, whatever it's called, and Biden's saying all these things, and no one thinks that everyone's talking, but no one thinks they're going to do the right thing, and it's not going to change anything because, in 2 years we may have a Republican in office, and they're going to change everything back up again, and we're going to be right back to where we started. And I understand that we have a lot of infrastructural issues in this country. I get that, and it needs to be fixed. But this whole idea that we're throwing all this money, first of all, out of the I think it was $1.75 trillion. Is that what it is? I'm betting that about a third of that is just going to be pissed away. Because we have too many politicians that can't keep their hands off the money. Absolutely. We've seen that with the PPP.
Yeah.
We saw that with the bailout.
Yep.
We see that, guys making $800,000, they're going to buy Lamborghinis.
Absolutely.
They're not spending money on employees. I mean, and that's really sad to me.
I agree.
If you don't need the money, you shouldn't take it. And when you get the money, you should be using it for what you want. And you could even make an argument with the K. Ivy thing. We're taking our $400 million, we're building 3 new prisons. That's better. That's better than, building a brand new house for K. Ivy. No doubt. At least it's doing something
that
good.
is right. That's consequences.
But is it being really earmarked for the right things?
Yeah.
So I hear yesterday the governor of Alaska on another radio platform, and Republican, and hasn't voted for anything by, and he's voting this infrastructure. He's like, yeah, we're doing it. Well, what do you think that is? Because Alaska is getting $3.5 billion alone. And so if you are going to you've done home loans against your home, right? And if you are getting, you don't know how much it's going to be, let's just say $35,000, and you're like, well, what if I made it $40,000?
Yeah.
And they're like, sure. And $40,000 over the course of a loan is going to cost you an extra $4 a month.
Yep.
We're like, $4. Well, hell, let's go shopping.
Let's go. Been there.
We did it. I mean, we did it when we first got here. Let's go shop. What if it's 50?
Yeah.
Well, that's going to change your amount 60.
Over
it's like
30,
when you buy a car. You do the same thing. Over the course of a loan, it's going
to over 30
years.
Do
you want the sunroof? It's going to cost you an extra $20 a month. It's like, shit, $20 a month. We do it with cell phones. You get a brand new iPhone 13. It's going to cost you $23 a month because you're doing over 3. Sure. $23 a month to get the newest? Well, yeah, trade in my ass. You don't get anything for your old phone, right?
Have you ever looked at your amortization papers?
I don't. It goes straight to the trash. I pay on the phone. I dial 611 and pay on the phone. I can't look at it. And so you go, well, hell, I need new clothes. You need new clothes, and we want to go. Do we deserve vacation? Let's go because it's going to cost us only $4 more a month. That's what this infrastructure thing feels like.
Yeah.
They're getting like $1 billion just for their ferries. I'm not saying Alaska people don't need it. They're trying to convert everything from gas ferries to electric ferries.
Okay, I think that's
They're going to build roads, and no one lives there. Hell, we had a guy working here, Jason Lee, who went there, and he had a dream job to work in Alaska. He was there for 7 months. He's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Okay, I've had enough of this crap. This is crazy.
That is interesting for the infrastructure because we're not getting anything from we're not sending anything to, right? I mean,
no, we're going to get new bridges, and we're going to be safer, and we're going to get,
No, I mean, for people in Alaska,
Yeah, but I mean, every state's getting their piece. I mean, we're all getting a little. Okay, what is it going to? How much do I have to stroke you a check for to sign off on this?
Yes,
because you're getting people that are flipping really quick on. I could use $1 billion for my ferries. You got it. Okay, then I'll vote it in. I mean, it's like, okay, so
that's reaching across the aisle.
So we're pushing all this money out.
Yeah,
and I don't know about you, but when I do that, I'm still stuck with a $50,000 loan that I'm going to have to be paying off for a long period of time. And I know they're going to put this on billionaires, and Elon Musk sold his stock and all this other crap. This is the first time where I'm actually really concerned because normally over a 4-year period things change, but I know it's going to change back. It ebbs and flows, and it's incremental. It doesn't really change my life from a day-to-day situation. This crap right now is changing my life.
But you know why? I mean, I'm not blaming it all on this. But what threw a wrench in there that has not thrown a wrench in it in our generation, I'm going to say this again, is the pandemic. I know we had all these other things, but if you think about it, we've had a war would be a good example, going to war immediately. A 9/11 is another one. So we have had these problems, and we're dealing with them, like you said, back and forth. And then you threw a bomb into this thing, which is the pandemic. Because of all the things we know about the pandemic, people out of work and people out of work, people on disability, and people changing jobs.
Yeah, but he was going to push this infrastructure thing through, regardless of whether we had a pandemic.
No.
That had nothing to do with this infrastructure.
No, what I'm saying is, but it's throwing another wrench into the infrastructure piece because you do have all the job issues. You have all this other stuff going on, and the infrastructure piece is. You're right. The infrastructure piece is something that, well, it's connected because then we have the infrastructure piece, but then we have all the distribution and the bottleneck of products sitting out at sea, which also plays into it. It's all connected. I mean, I know.
I know it's all connected. You find out just how fragile.
That's
really
exactly
is.
that. Yeah.
We do live in an incredibly fragile world, and one little link can really screw up the.
Listen, I talked to a brother of mine, my brother, who does international work and deals with shipments that are coming over the containers, and he was talking about the change in price to purchase a container of goods. A container of goods used to cost him about $7,000, and now it's $27,000.
Yep.
And what he has said is he's very clear. He's like, either I can't afford to get it, or if I go out on a limb and get it, my products are going to skyrocket in price because I can't. That's the only way I can turn a profit.
Yeah. Well, even like Feed America came out yesterday. They're spending an additional $60,000 a month right now because they can't afford groceries. They're spending $1 million a month on Feed America, which is a great organization.
Yep.
Because they can't afford to buy what they need to take care of all these people that need to be fed. I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of fat on this thing. I'm not into politics, and I know that there was a lot of things cut off. It was cut in half and everything else. It just scares the hell out of me because someone's going to have to pay for all this stuff. I don't know where it's going to come from, and I know they're trying to push it through. I'm not saying we don't need some help, but it's if Birmingham, for example, needed some type of structural thing done, I don't know, a new bridge or fix our potholes or fix our school, whatever we needed, and we certainly need a lot of things down here in the South. And we were going to the government and saying, listen, this is something we really need. You would have to go through so many flipping red tape lines in order to get $40 million to throw at this to make this better, right? Now it's like there's this influx of all this money. Okay, do what you want to do with it. Tell us where it's going to be earmarked. And there's so much of it, and it's so incremental in the different areas it's going to go, and the people that are going to be reaching into the pot to be taking their piece, and then the special interest groups. Do
you think it is because, look at us doing, this is Kurre and Klapow politics.
No, it's the first time I'm concerned.
But
I'm
think
concerned
it is because
I don't know where the hell it's coming from.
Right, so there's always been pork, there's always been fat on the bills.
Sure,
right?
Yeah, if you want this, you got to do
this. But do you think that part of the problem is we are so entrenched right now? Again, I'm not a political scientist, but I look at just how, I'm not talking about America being divided. I'm sort of talking about our politicians being divided, dug in. Okay. It's an interesting hypothesis. It's one thing if you and I are like, okay, we see things different, but come on, Tony, this is really important. Well, let me think about it. Okay. I can give a little bit of this up, blah, blah, blah. That's reaching across the line. But if you and I are both dug in, and I'm like, dude, I need you to be a part of this. And you're like, oh, hell no.
Yep.
Oh, hell no. And then I'm like, okay, what's it going to take?
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
No, so, but before maybe it would take $1 billion. Yeah. Now we're so separated politically. You're like, give me 10 million or 3 billion, or I'm not in. So I guess I wonder if being so entrenched is driving the cost of the negotiation up. Right?
Sure,
because we're not negotiating anymore on moral value, friends, relationships. Now it's like, dude, how much you willing to pay?
Yeah. We're not going to pass this unless I get mine.
Right, which it's always been that way, but I do wonder if it is absolutely heightened.
It's pretty crazy.
There you go, Talk 99.5. We just did our own dance.
I do have some good news about all this plastic waste.
Yes?
This through Live Science. I love that site.
Yep.
In your future, your vanilla ice cream. I'm not a vanilla ice cream person. I think it's incredibly boring.
But
it's got no taste.
Vanilla.
No, I
good
have.
Vanilla.
I've had great. I've had vanilla bean stuff. I've had the Haagen-Dazs. I've had it
it's
all.
Not my favorite. I've always picked chocolate.
It's boring. It's like 3 or 4 cups in. There's a reason why people say you're being so vanilla. That's boring. Vanilla. The word vanilla is used for boring. It's boring. It is vanilla. If you look up vanilla in the dictionary, it says a type of flavor, and you're boring. So if you like vanilla, and even people that get vanilla will go, I need to put something on top of it. No one eats just a bowl of vanilla ice cream.
It's a good, listen, vanilla.
That's why chocolate is king.
No, vanilla is a great platform to put little things on.
Yeah, because you have to, because it's boring by itself.
Yeah, but vanilla.
It's an ugly girl. You got to put some makeup on her.
But great vanilla with little chocolate chips. Oh, so good.
Your vanilla ice cream is going to be made from plastic bottles.
Great. How do I digest that?
Scientists have figured out a way to convert plastic waste into vanilla flavoring with genetically engineered bacteria.
Perfect.
Way to go. You don't have that in chocolate ice cream. Vanilla, the compound that carries most of the smell and taste of vanilla, can be extracted naturally from vanilla beans or made synthetically.
Perfect.
About 85% of vanillin is currently made from chemicals. 85% of vanillin, which is the thing that vanilla comes from, is currently made from chemicals taken from fossil fuels.
So is it bad? Is it bad for the environment if I eat vanilla ice cream?
That cannot be.
Is that not good?
Synthetic vanillin cannot be good for you, right? Vanillin's found its way into a wide variety of food, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, cleaning, and herbicide products, and the demand is growing rapidly. The demand for vanilla far exceeds the vanilla bean supply.
Oh,
So
I see.
scientists have resorted to synthetically producing vanillin. For the new study, researchers used a novel method to convert plastic waste
That's perfect.
into vanilla flavoring as a way to both supply vanillin and reduce plastic population.
That is great. We'll all smell like vanilla. We'll eat vanilla, and we'll save plastic.
Now, I will say vanilla smells good,
It does.
but it's
Now,
boring.
would you eat vanilla if you knew it was saving the earth? Not give up chocolate, but would you increase your vanilla intake? I'm not saying just ice cream.
If you told me we could clean up the oceans by me eating a quart of vanilla ice cream every day,
Yeah.
I'd do it.
Yeah.
If I knew, I would.
Well, but
I'm not
buy a
saying I
candle.
don't. I'm not saying that I hate vanilla ice cream.
like
I
country
like
music?
if it's vanilla ice cream or nothing, then I'll do vanilla ice cream. But I do think that kids that eat vanilla ice cream are pretty boring kids. You need to get on it.
We got to call Gwyneth. She should add some vanilla to her candles.
Vanilla is a good smell.
It smells wonderful.
Oh, do we have chocolate candles?
I'm sure we do. Yeah, I've smelled, but it doesn't smell like chocolate. Like vanilla smell. Well, I think we're used to smelling fake vanilla,
Yeah.
and so that's
Vanillin.
what vanillin. So that's why we do it. Chocolate candles. I've had chocolate. The Christmas time they do chocolate peppermint candles.
Yeah.
No good.
All right.
No
Then.
good.